welcome to Lazie Indie Music Magazine. My name is Manoj, and with me we have Jay.
Introducing, listening to, interviewing and reviewing some of the best independent artists in the world.
Hi folks, welcome to this edition of Lazie Indie Music Magazine. I'm Jay, and as promised, I'll be introducing some of the best independent musicians from across the world to you. This week's spotlight is on a gentleman from Ohio. His name is Dave Coonrod. Dave has got decades of experience in songwriting, in bass guitaring, and as a collaborator with international artists, and also as a teacher. He's also the founder member of a unique band called the Siberian Solstice. To know more about him, his idea of music, how he came into music, and also what his future plans were, we sent him 10 questions. But folks, before we get to hear the answers from Dave himself, let's watch a song from Siberian Solstice.
Dave Coonrod, a founding member of Siberian Solstice, a Trans-Siberian Orchestra tribute. My wife and I live in Defiance, Ohio, USA. I received a guitar as a gift when I was 8 years old and had lessons for a number of years. When I was 13, I joined my first band, a jazz band. A couple years later, rock and roll took over my attention. Then in college, I decided the bass guitar was going to be my go-to instrument. Also, I played saxophone and other single-reed instruments throughout my junior high and high school years. My grandfather and father both played the guitar, so I guess it was meant to be. Eventually, I made a career of teaching guitar in various music studios as well as on the college level. Earlier in life, it was big band jazz and swing music, music from the 40s and 50s. Then vocal groups of the 60s, such as the Beach Boys, and horn bands such as Chicago and Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Probably my favorite jazz rock band was Steely Dan. The Eagles and Doobie Brothers must be mentioned too. And I have a lot of respect for prog rock groups such as Yes and others. For original material, I usually begin with the chord progression and build from there. The current band, Siberian Solstice, is a tribute band, so we strive to recreate their songs as originally recorded.
Dave Coonrod has collaborated with some great independent musicians and bands from across the world. Lazie J is happy to be one of them. We have collaborated with Dave on a song called Twilight Zone. Dave can be reached at his page at bigexposure.com as Dave Coonrod or as Fender Bender. Well folks, there's much more to be heard from Dave Coonrod, but before that, we are going to play another song from Siberian Solstice.
For years, I have been using Cakewalk products and do all my work in my home studio. I lay down acoustic and electric guitar parts, MIDI guitar tracks, and electric bass tracks, not necessarily in that order. Then with assorted loops and drum apps, it all comes together. I've also been associated with the online collaboration site mixposure.com. It has been my privilege to be a part of numerous projects, primarily contributing bass tracks. Mixposure is a great way to expand your reach to musicians around the world. Has been a tremendous source for me. The fact is that you have access to a wide variety of talent that might not have been available otherwise. It is a resource that other musicians should be made aware of. I am now recording tracks for some of my own material and plan to do more of that this year. The Siberian Solstice project is in its 15th year of performance in the months of November and December. In addition, I perform with an acoustic trio in local wineries. I also hope to be part of more recording collaborations with other musicians. Experiencing the finished product, I enjoy the journey creating, whether it is writing, recording, or performing. But I suppose the feedback from a live audience from a performance that has received a standing ovation is hard to beat. For Siberian Solstice, go to www.siberiansolstice.com or go to YouTube and look up Siberian Solstice. For Mixposure, you would go to www.mixposure.com, search for Dave Coonrod or Dave Coonrod, aka Fender Bender, or D. Coonrod. Or for other collaborations, search for David C. Deal in the audio tracks. Then look for Dave Coonrod or D. Coonrod or Fender Bender listed as a contributor.
Well, friends, that was Dave Coonrod. A big thank you to him for coming. Huge respects for such a long stint in music. Also wishing him all the best. Now, we are not alone to listening to Dave. We do have Paul Verghese, who is a bassist for the Autumn Leaf, someone with many years of bass guitar playing with him. This is what he had to say after watching and listening to Dave.
Thank you for logging me into this show. It's a great pleasure to know more about fellow musicians from different parts of the world. Dave is an example of how one can achieve excellence both as a contributor and arranger of music. Dave as a bassist do a great job of connecting rhythm and melody, and I as a music arranger admire the music composed by Siberian Solstice, keeping in mind the kind of music the band plays. It's a very tight band. And I'm sure it will be a great experience to watch them live. I'm really glad I could learn more about Dave's music journey. All the best.
Thank you, Paul, for those positive comments. I totally agree that Siberian Solstice is a band to watch, and sincerely thank Dave for joining the show. Hope you enjoyed watching Lazie Indie Music Magazine.
So friends, before we log off, let's listen to the Lazie Dave Coonrod collaboration. See you next time. Ciao. sudden twist of tale. I know I'll never fail. Is it a dream or a story? Is it real?